Hey Quad Bros, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are joining me. I apologize about my voice and not getting any videos out. I am I guess a little sick. It's mostly just kind of allergies season. I get hit pretty hard by allergies this time of year. So I don't feel terrible, but it is my voice I'm sure sounds a little scratchy and rough. But I did want to talk today about the recent change to the matchmaking of Enlisted. So they've changed it from previously there was a soft rule implemented for BR1 where if there were enough players available, then it would try to create a session where everyone in that session was BR1 and was BR2. Okay, it wouldn't try to go into BR3 if there were enough BR1 and 2 players. They have now changed this to be a hard rule, right? Which means now it doesn't matter how many players there are. If you are BR1, you will always be against BR1 and BR2 players. You will never be matched against BR3 players anymore if you are queuing BR1, which is really important because number one, it means that new players who are just now getting into the game are going to be significantly less likely to be going up against like veteran players that have a lot more experience than them and are going to be able to just absolutely dunk on them. And yes, you might say like, oh, there's nothing that stops you from, like me, Quadro, from making my loadout BR1 and then queuing against other BR1 players and just dominating them. Yes, you are absolutely correct. That is true. But I don't think very many players do that, to be completely honest with you guys. I think that is a pretty rare occurrence. Sometimes, obviously, like there might be like a player who like finished the USA tree and is going back to play as like the Germans or the Soviets. And so they're going to have an advantage in experience. But I don't think that that's significant enough to really play like a major role. And I think that most new players aren't going to experience that very often because the majority of new players in tier 1 and tier 2 are going to be new players. So while yes, it could be a problem, it's not a solvable one, regardless, unless you want to advocate for skill-based matchmaking, which I'm sure not many people want to do in the first place. So that's a big thing. And then number two, it's also a balance thing, right? If you look at tier 1 vehicles and things like that, if you're in a Stuart or a Daimler, right, then in BR3 you could be queuing up against, right, like a Panzer IV F2 or a Panzer IV G even. I think the J is BR3 as well. Yeah, so you could be queuing against these, which are going to just be absolutely dominating people. Actually, isn't the G the old Stalingrad exclusive? So maybe people actually don't have this. Or no, maybe they do. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point being is that there's these very, very strong tanks. And it's like, yeah, if you're in like a Panzer II and you have to fight a Sherman, you're just going to get dunked on. Like, there's nothing you can do there. You're just going to get slaughtered. And that's a big problem, right? That's not very fun. That is a frustrating experience to say the least. And so now that they've made this hard rule, that isn't going to happen, right? And BR2 tanks can take on BR3 tanks a lot more effectively. And BR1 vehicles can take on BR2 tanks for the most part. There's some exceptions, but generally speaking, it's just a lot more balanced for everybody involved. And it's a lot more fun. And it also gives an option for players who really want to play like the bolt action, slow paced gameplay that I think plays really well in Enlisted. Then now you have the option of doing that, because if I queue just BR1 with bolt actions, I know that I'm not going to be running into any semi-automatic guns. I'm not going to be running into tons of these weapons like the SMGs, right? It's going to be mostly like low-powered SMGs, low-powered light machine guns, low-powered anti-tank, low-powered bolt action, so on and so forth, which is, again, a really nice option for people to play with. So overall, I think it's a really good change. I think it's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that Enlisted is growing to the point that they're able to make this change. And by the way, my own personal YouTube analytics are also pointing towards Enlisted growing significantly after the changes to the silver economy and the merge that happened earlier this year. So overall, guys, Enlisted is definitely on an upward trend. I kind of want to do a video talking about that, so I won't go into depth here. But overall, I think it's awesome. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this change. And by the way, this is another thing that I wanted to show. This is an artillery piece being fired. That's kind of crazy. You guys notice this? This is like a no shit. This is like a it's not a 105. No, it is the 105. It's the 10.5 centimeter, or maybe it's something smaller. I don't know. But this is like a big gun. This is like a real artillery piece that they're kind of showing in this. That's kind of crazy. Are they hinting at something with this? I don't know. Get your tinfoil hats on, guys. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this change down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Join our community Discord and follow on Twitch. The links for that are in the description below. Yada, yada, yada. Like and subscribe. Yada, yada, yada. I appreciate all of that, guys. It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Without anything else, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for gameplay videos in the coming days. And without anything else, I'll see you next time. Take it easy.